How's it going? Welcome to this edition of the Locker Room. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a couple of weeks, I should say, since the last episode. And that was not, for our liking, out of our liking. There's a lot of activity that went on. And the most important thing is we're back to discuss the results from the latest round of fixtures and, most importantly, the two subplots shaping the end of the English Premier League season, which is the English title race between Manchester City and Liverpool, and the fascinating race for the fourth spot of the Champions League. It is going to be bloody, for lack of a better word, ladies and gentlemen. We have a full house here, and we'll get into it right after this. Brilliant, brilliant. Welcome back, welcome back. And if you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to hit the like button, feel free to hit the subscribe button, most importantly. And you are most welcome to the Locker Room right here on Top 6 Fan TV, ladies and gentlemen, where it's football by the fans and for the fans. Welcome, gentlemen, this week, to this week's show. I'll kick it off with Manzi. He's in black. He's a Manchester United fan. He's back to mourning, so he's in black. But Manzi, you are most welcome.
Thank you, Mathew. Thank you for having me.
Brilliant, brilliant. And we also welcome Bonny, the Manchester City fan, who's enjoying his run. Bonny, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mathew.
Great. And finally, Spurs president and honorable alumni of the Arsenal faithful, Mr. Willis, the man, Mr. Spurs. Welcome to the show. Brilliant, brilliant. And Mr. Prof B, Aaron Setala, the man, very ardent Arsenal fan, makes a late entry, fuggy time like entry, but
thank you very much.
Very excited to have him. Yeah, brilliant. Got some feedback there from Willis. Yeah, so it's a full house here. You gentlemen are all welcome. And like we said, we're going to obviously touch base with the results from the weekend's games. Fantastic action right there in the English Premier League. And nowhere else to start than the game that used to be the biggest game in the land before Manchester City and Liverpool came and tore up the script. Arsenal welcoming Manchester United to the Emirates. And the result was very interesting right there. Arsenal coming out 3-1 victors there over Manchester United. And
Mathew, can you hear me?
Yeah. Aaron, we can hear you, Prof B. We can hear you. Welcome to the show. Brilliant. Welcome to the show. Manzi, what were your thoughts on that game? Maybe just for those who didn't catch the game, goals coming in from Nuno Tavares at the beginning, Bukayo Saka doubling Arsenal's lead there through a penalty before Cristiano Ronaldo, the man, coming in to score his 100th goal for Manchester United there. Typical Poch's goal, and of course, Arsenal grabbing the late goal. Well, not necessarily late, but somehow midway through the second half through a stunner from Granit Xhaka to make it 3-1, but not before drama unfolded at the penalty spot on the other side. Bruno Fernandes stepping up to take the penalty and missing that and handing Arsenal the momentum. Manzi, are Manchester United out of the top 4 race as a result of
that? Manchester United have been out of the top 4 race since January. So for me, they've been out of the top 4 race for a very long time. I was not surprised by the result. I watched the Chelsea game and I saw Arsenal putting Chelsea away 4-2. I didn't expect anything different because Chelsea is a better team than United, and Arsenal outplayed Chelsea. So when it came to United, it was more of the same. Um, of course, because Arsenal fears Manchester United because of the history, they almost, drew, or they almost failed to win. It was going to probably be too hard. Bruno Fernandes scored. Maybe it would have ended in a draw. But when things are going badly, even penalties are missed. So congratulations to Arsenal for beating United. But they shouldn't over celebrate because United is being beaten by everyone. So really, it's a great achievement. Anyone can beat United at this point. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, not even the announcement that you finally found your new manager, Eric Ten Hag, seems to be lifting the mood there, Manzi. Very scathing of your team, but perhaps you seem to suggest that Manchester United are totally out of it. Bonny, the man from Manchester City, across the fence, should I say, or the other side of Manchester. Do you agree with that assessment? Or do you feel Manchester United might spring a surprise and come back?
Yeah. I hope you can hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I don't think there's any magic that will happen. I don't think Manu can qualify for Champions League this season. Maybe the best they can go for is Europa League.
Terrible. So for you, that's it. That's done. Manchester United is out of it.
It's out.
Oh dear. Terrible. And what are your thoughts around the momentum? We just lost the Spurs president there, but what are your thoughts around? And we'll get into the results from the other side of from the other fixtures. But how do you feel? I think I'll just swing this one to Aaron's way. Aaron, how do you feel that has impacted Arsenal's chances for the top four against Spurs specifically? Do you think it's now guaranteed for Arsenal to beat Spurs to that top four spot, or there's still a lot to play for? Yeah, Aaron seems to be on mute there.
Yeah, I think Aaron is having some issues with his audio. He might not
Yeah.
be hearing us.
Yeah. Definitely. So Willis, if I would swing it back to you, we just got Willis back, Mr. Spurs there. What is your take on that Arsenal result there against Manchester United, and of course that coupled with the 0-0 draw for Spurs over the weekend against Brentford, that then of course swings Arsenal back into fourth place, Spurs in fifth, level in games played, Arsenal 2 points ahead with an interesting run of fixtures to come. Willis, what's your take on the developing situation down there?
No, I think I think it's a very tricky one for me because it's going to be very difficult to get Arsenal out of the fourth place. If you look at how they've been playing their games versus how we've been playing our games, our last two games have been absolutely, well, they've been bad. And I see that Conte is trying to play here and there, trying to give a chance to people who have not been playing, who have not been starting the game. And of course, I think our last game, if I can predict what he was trying to do, is he was just trying to prepare guys for the Arsenal game. And I think it's going to be one of those biggest games. And if we beat Arsenal in our next game, I think it's going to be a brilliant finish for Conte this season. So it's something he's looking up to. I just hope that Arsenal does not disappoint our hopes for finishing at the top, at the fourth place. And Arsenal is going to be one of those hard nuts to crack given their history. And the last two games that they've been playing, they've been absolutely coming onto that pitch to win that game. Like they just come to win. You see, they're playing with that energy and playing with that faith that they've come to take it home. And meanwhile, for us, if we don't have Harry Kane pushing through those passes from midfield onto Kulusevski or so on, then we're finished. So, I mean, it's tricky, but we just have to wait and see what happens at the next game.
Brilliant. And of course, I mean, a very interesting set of fixtures there left. It's 5 games left for the Arsenal, 5 games left for Spurs, and they are going to meet 3 games from now. Arsenal have to play West Ham away, and then they welcome Leeds to the Emirates, and then the big game against Spurs right there. Fantastic stuff. And then in the case of Spurs, their fixtures are also not looking any easier, having looked like they had the easiest run of the lot. They play Leicester City next at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium before going to guess who? Liverpool at Anfield. And that is going to be a very interesting match indeed. And then the dreaded North London derby will follow for Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where you expect Spurs will take the mantle or take the game to Arsenal. After which, you probably have easier games to close off the season, Burnley and then Norwich. Although Burnley might be a banana skin for Spurs, considering Burnley looks to have got themselves into a 2-way fight to get out of relegation with Everton. So that is going to be a very, very interesting run of fixtures. Manzi, between Spurs and Arsenal, who do you see pipping the 4th spot there? Who do you see taking the 4th spot?
Based on current form, I would say Arsenal. Based on current form, but they have to keep the streak, the winning streak, and the momentum. And Arsenal knows how to come out of this winning streak and go into a losing streak. Like before they beat Chelsea, they were on a 3-game losing streak. So
before that was a 5-game winning streak.
Before that, Arsenal is like United. They are poor. Then when you least expect, they are good. Then when you get excited, they become poor again. So you're like Ateta in, Ateta out. Like you're never certain. But based on current form, yeah.
Manzi, doesn't that also sound like Spurs?
Now Spurs is consistently poor.
Because Spurs
is poor consistently.
No.
Good and bad. They're just poor, right?
Willis has something to say about that.
If they sneak into the top 4, it's not because they were good, but it's because Arsenal were poorer. Like they were just way worse.
No, I don't think Spurs is poor. I mean, look at the signings we've got. Those two, Bentancur and Kulusevski, easily the biggest signings of the season this time round. So I mean, you can't say Spurs is poor. With Harry Kane coming on form. Remember, of course, the start of the season was hard for him, but now you see what he's doing. Every time we're winning games, he's on top form, he's everywhere, and people are saying, yeah. So I don't think Spurs is poor. Being number 4 is not easy.
Spurs game. That's how poor they.
Yeah, you see, exactly. So you haven't been watching Spurs games, so you can't say we are poor. I mean, ask Man United.
Like when you see the results, I'm like, they didn't get any manager. Very promising.
Manzi, how far the big boys are falling. Now Willis is bringing you guys down. You Manchester United.
It's not that the big guys have become small or fallen. It's that the small guys have become stronger than the big guys. Yeah. So I don't think Arsenal, Man United are small guys. I mean, if you look at Man United with Ronaldo, with Pogba, with all these huge players, it's still huge. But it's just that Conte has been able to put this team that...
Mathew, it's interesting how I'm joining the conversation involving Spurs being among the big boys. Is there an error in the submission?
No. You may proceed, actually, now that you've come to correct the...
I think there's an error in the submission. We need to be very clear. I think for me, Manzi, you need to be aware of Spurs because they are now in your league in terms of mediocrity as Man United. So you need to be aware of where Spurs is because you know you're looking over your shoulders. But also for us, the Arsenal, we are the tail end of our misery in terms of where we are as a team, and of course we have to be worried about Spurs, but that does not mean that Spurs qualifies to be called a big boy or a big team. No, it just means that they are somewhere. They're trying to, that child that starts to crawl and all of a sudden wants to start running. That is Spurs. They all of a sudden they find themselves walking and running at the same time. Then reality sets in. And these last games, that the last 5 or 6 games will show what Spurs are made of, and we wait to see what Conte has in mind. Usually fault at the last minute. Brentford was an example that maybe they are not yet there with the big boys. All of us suspected that Spurs is going to beat them, and it will be the North London derby that will create the difference. But I suspect that by the time we get to that derby, top 4 will be clear. City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then the wannabes like Arsenal trying to sneak in. I can't mention Man United because they are nowhere near good, so they can't be in this discussion. So it's really Spurs.
I like the honesty from Prof B. It's really sneaking in. It's either Arsenal sneaking or Spurs sneaking. They're equally poor. Like
yes.
If you look at, they're both played 33 games. They've both lost 11 games. One has won 18, another one has won 19, and then one has drawn 4, another 3. So, as in, the only 3 teams in Premier League, the rest are just jokers. Yeah.
And you see, the other similarity between Spurs and Arsenal at the moment is 1 or 2 or 3 players. Take Ken out, take Son out, and then Spurs is a mess. When it comes to Arsenal, Partey is out, Tierney is out, and then all of a sudden it's not a team anymore. It's a bunch of young kids trying to become, stars.
Dodge and score.
Dodge and score. When you miss, when you fall down, you dive. So for me, that's the experience that is lacking in Arsenal. However, Spurs would be a mile ahead in terms of the team they've had, because they've been together for a while. If you look at Spurs team, close to 15 or so players have played together for the past maybe 1 or 2 seasons or 3 seasons. So they should be gelling. I don't know if it's an issue with changing coaches. Something's not right at Spurs, because I thought about a year and a half ago, 2 seasons ago, Spurs were a team to beat, but they were fought at the last minute. Okay, and those boys have been together for a while. Of course, we will speak about Eriksson leaving, etc., but that does not negate the fact that Spurs players have been together for a while. So maybe it's a mentality issue that they need to to play with. But when it comes to Arsenal, it's a bunch of young players with a young coach who is trying to put his trade out there. However, he has his own ego as a coach. You mess with me, you're out of my team. And sometimes it works for teams. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it comes to a point whereby you're losing good players because of your philosophy as a coach. Maybe we'll see the results in 1 or 2 or 3 seasons later when he gets his own players that actually believe in him. But when we see the likes of Aubameyang leaving, Ozil leaving, it just shows that probably Arteta wants a core team of players that believe in him and will respect him. And don't be shocked when he keeps coming to us in the media talking about how Zaka is one of the team players. Maybe Zaka is in bed with him, is listening to him, he trusts the coach, etc. Those are the kind of players that Arteta is trying to play with. So I don't know, but Spurs and Arsenal, same difference.
Brilliant. Thanks for that submission, Prof B. Mr. Bonny, we are moving on from the discussion around Spurs and Arsenal to the discussion at the top of the table, kicking off with the result at Merseyside, which was quite pivotal to that. Of course, Man City will come to your result. But before that, Liverpool dispatching of Everton, although it did take them to get to the second half to actually break Everton down. Everton were quite resilient in the first half. Of course, a few shouts there for penalty decisions against Liverpool not going Everton's way. And it was Liverpool's day. Andy Robertson and should I call him super sub Divock Origi, who Klopp now called one of the best strikers in the whole world. Ironically, he doesn't get to start most of the Liverpool games, but that being enough to earn Liverpool the points. And of course, after Manchester City dispatched of Watford, and we will come to that game, the standings remain the same. Manchester City ahead by 1 point at the top of the table on 80 points. Liverpool second on 79 points, both having played 33 games. And it is a fantastic finale that is shaping up there. And 4 games to go for those big boys there at the top of the Premier League. And we will wait to see who takes the title home. But Bonny, what was your take on Liverpool's performance? Are you still worried about them, or do you feel Manchester City have enough to actually, win all the rest of their games, 4 games, so to speak, and just keep the title in Manchester, the blue half of Manchester, that is Manzi. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, Liverpool is playing a good game. You can't underestimate Liverpool right now because they are winning. They're playing like they really need the trophy. Meaning, it's a tight race, which Man City has to really fight for. On the other side, I know Pep is speaking to the boys, is encouraging them, because after that loss to Pool in the FA, I think the boys now are like, yo, you know what? We have to push this thing. We have to win this trophy. So it's now, I think it's a 50-50 race, because the games are all tight. Though Liverpool is having Spurs, and that's a game I believe is a turning point for us. Liverpool can mess up. Spurs is also crafty. Kane can come from nowhere. Son can put in a goal. So it's I think our fixtures are more favorable compared to the ones of Liverpool. Though it's a very tight race, and I think the best team will win it all.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at those fixtures in the Premier League specifically, Manchester City go away to Leeds, and then they actually, of course, have some Champions League games there. But then they actually welcome Newcastle to the City of Manchester Stadium, or the Etihad as it's currently called, and then they go away to West Ham and close the season off with Aston Villa at home. And when you look at Liverpool, on the other hand, of course, they do have Champions League and an FA Cup there. An FA Cup to play, FA Cup final to play. But looking at the fixtures, Liverpool do play Newcastle next at St. James's Park. This is a Newcastle that has been on quite a bit of form. I think they've won their last 6 games straight. So it could be an interesting one, although you expect Liverpool to dispatch of Newcastle. And then the big game, Anfield, Tottenham Hotspur coming to Anfield. Afazari draw is what Bonny is hoping for, of course, to at least get a draw out of that one. And then Liverpool go to Aston Villa, which is an interesting one. Does Steven Gerrard deny his beloved Liverpool the title? We'll wait to see, because it could be ended at that point. And then the last 2 games of the season, away to Southampton, which is also a bit of a tricky one. You never know when James Ward-Prowse will decide to score a free kick. And then the last game for Liverpool against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let me pull in Manzi to this discussion. Manzi, who's taking it for you here?
Well, I'll tell you who I would prefer to take it and who is taking it. First of all, I would prefer that City takes it, because I don't know any City fans. I mean, our WhatsApp group will not have noise. If Liverpool guys take it, then we won't hear empty politics. Most City fans are in high school and university.
But Bonny is here. Are you trying to say Bonny is there? Is Bonny the head teacher?
Bonny is 1 in a million, and he's not on the group that makes noise for us. So that's number 1. Number 2, I think the table will not change much from where it is now. The top 3 are going to remain like that. If City wins all their remaining games, my assumption is City will win all their remaining games, and Liverpool will win all their remaining games. and then Liverpool will lose out by that 1 point.
Mhm.
So it's now not a race of it's can you avoid
Defeat or a draw.
losing? Not even a draw, just because even a draw is bad. It's just winning now. Win all your games or CDK. Yeah, so I think City will clinch it.
Willis, do you share that view? You're the Spurs guy. You have the opportunity to hand City the title. You have a game against Liverpool at Anfield. Do you feel Spurs can win that game?
Well, I think Spurs can do anything. I mean, we've gone against giants in the past and put them down. So I think that Spurs can do anything. Of course, Liverpool is going to be a tight game. They're coming into that game to win it. And if you look at how they've been playing and their squad depth and all that, they're very, very huge giant to knock down. So, but we're also good. It's going to be a tough one. But I must say, I'm expecting a draw, at least a draw. I don't think we're losing to Liverpool because we have this hunger to get into Champions League. If you see the comments from the players, everyone's talking about top 4 to go into Champions League. So I think the hunger, it's going to be a very tight, interesting game. And the best man win for this one. I'm not coming to watch with emotions because I might get hurt. So I'll just come to enjoy the game and see how it goes.
Prof B, what's your take on that game? Manchester City versus Liverpool. We have talked about the run. Yeah.
The truth is that both Pep and Klopp won the trophy. Both of them are in the semi-final of the Champions League, so they have 30 games ahead of them that they need to think about in terms of balancing teams. But at the same time, none of them is letting go. And this is where you see, great teams in City and Liverpool. None of them is willing to let the other go. And this is where you think about the games that Liverpool should have won and drew. Okay, you think about the games that City should have won and lost, and now they are just a point ahead of their rivals. However, Spurs has been beating the big boys this season amongst the top 3. And I suspect that Spurs will probably grab a point from Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool will just come and walk over them. They will grab a point from them. So at this stage, it's really Liverpool's to lose because it's City's to lose. I know Liverpool will not put the foot off the pedal, but City has shown that when they want to win, they will win at this stage. For me, that's my take. But Spurs would save that title. Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah, of course, Spurs did draw 0-0 with Brentford, and we see some of the visuals there. Spurs players distraught. Willis, I'll pull you into this one. What went wrong for Spurs in this game? Why not even a goal scored? Your attack has been breathtaking of late, but everyone failing to fire. Son, Kane, Kulusevski, no one could find the back of the net against Brentford. What went wrong?
When you have Regulion on the bench, you have Sanchez on the bench, and you're playing Sessegnon, I've always seen that squad, and it's not doesn't get me the results I need. Every time we sort of put Sanchez off the field and is not starting, it's sort of very disastrous for us. So with Brentford, of course, everyone expected we were going to beat Brentford. And I think that's why Conte decided the team he decided. So it's so disappointing that I mean, the boys tried here and there. Of course, the first few, and if you look at Spurs and how we've been winning games, you can tell from the first 10 minutes whether Spurs is going to win or not. And we saw it with Brentford. The first 15, 20 minutes, guys were squeezing us like we were Norwich, you understand? Yeah, but it was so disappointing for us. But of course, we see Spurs losing games, 3-4 games, and then we come back and have like 4-0 from a big team. So, I mean, don't get surprised if Kulusevski, Son, and Kane are scoring against Liverpool in the next game. So, yeah, Brentford was bad, but, you know, Harry Kane, I think yesterday or today, was saying the only choice we have is to win the games. That's the only choice we have as Spurs. So, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thanks a lot for that reaction, Mr. Spurs president, and of course, wrapping it up with the other boys who are, currently shooing to finish third place. The boys in blue, Chelsea, going to West Ham and winning, or rather, welcoming West Ham to Stamford Bridge and winning that tightly contested game, 1-0. West Ham getting a red card there. Craig Dawson, but Chelsea coming out on top. They look secure in the third place. They do have a game in hand over Arsenal. They're 5 points clear of Arsenal with a game in hand. So you really don't see them, faltering or even catching Liverpool. So it's safe to say that Chelsea are secure and are looking forward to next season. So we will wait to see Captain America there, Christian Pulisic, getting them the winner in the 90th minute after Jorginho decided to take a ridiculous penalty kick. It's very unlike Jorginho, but that goal enough to secure Chelsea the win. And that was it for them from Stamford Bridge. And it does look like it is shaping up quite nicely till the end of the season. And gentlemen, I will say we have come to the end of the show for today. And thank you for joining, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to hit the like button, and we will be back very, very soon. Manzi, thanks for joining. I do hope you're grieving with Manchester United and soon. Eric Ten Hag is around the corner. So hopefully you start to see some progress next season. Willis, my man.
We have 11 to go, so about 20 years. So let's give us more 11 years. We'll be back.
My brother, it is tough when you have no Howard Webb and there's no more Fergie time. But welcome to the reality of football. Mr. Willis, thank you for coming onto the show. As always, a pleasure to have you, and very great to see you in your Spurs jersey, carrying the Spurs flag. I will say, may the best man or the best team win that slot for top four. Of course, it's head-to-head. It's a North London affair now. Spurs and Arsenal gunning for the final Champions League spot. And Bonny, the Manchester City man, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming. We wish you the best in your quest for the title. You lose, you snooze. Yeah, sure. Quite literally, Bonny, you lose, you snooze for Manchester City. And have a great rest of the week, our ladies and gentlemen joining us in the virtual audience. Have a great week, and we'll be back very soon. Bye-bye.